Are we live? Are we live? Excellent connection. All right. Hopefully everything works out with no problem. I'm getting a couple of drop frames. Why am I getting drop frames? Check this out real quick. All right, we are in 5G. A couple of drop frames. I'm using a new setup. Let's give it a few seconds before we start. All right, looks like we're green. All right, so welcome back, guys, to the server room, episode 66, right? Wow, 66 videos so far. How awesome is that? So you saw the title. We're doing another PowerShell script. Today, it is all about removing the user profile with excluded lists provided. So what do I mean? I've been in a lot of places where I worked at that use conference room computers, right? Typically in a conference room computer, you have one user account that's already cached in. You put a table tent with that information. People log into that account because it's faster to log into that account because it's already cached in. You're able to open up a browser, Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Firefox, Brave, whichever browser you provide to your end users. You give them multiple versions because, some of them like Chrome, some of them like Firefox or whatever. But they log into that account, they're able to log into office.com or gmail.com and start their meeting that way. The account already has Zoom, GoToMeeting, Microsoft Teams. It has everything that they need to move forward with their meeting. The problem is a lot of end users like to log into their AD account. That takes forever. Stuff gets cached in. I've seen users open up Outlook, and Outlook caches in stuff locally. It creates a PST file. And what happens is, if you have multiple user profiles that are logging in, and yes, you're probably saying to yourself, you could lock it down to only have one particular person log into that. The problem is, a lot of people will complain about that. So it's like it's a gamble. Uh, you can never win, right? So I was at this site and this conference room, again, this conference room had about, I think, 512 gigs of solid state drive space, and they were running out of space. The reason why is because everybody was logging in, and they had a thing of open up Outlook, and Outlook was pulling down about 2 gigs of profiles down, and the hard drive space was running out of space. Yes, you're able to upgrade the hard drive to maybe a 1 terabyte. You could do that. Yeah, you could do that. That solves the problem. But they wanted to clean up those profiles, so I actually built a PowerShell script to do that. I'm going to show you guys how to do that now. Before we go over now, the power script needs to be ran locally, and you are able to run it remotely, but I'm going to show you guys what I did for this particular client, for this conference room. The script, when I created it, I ran it as a scheduled task. So weekly, it runs at a certain time, and it just cleans all the profiles except the ones that we don't want to delete, which would be like the default, the administrative account, and then other accounts that you don't want it to get cleaned up, especially the one that's already cached in. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So let me get myself set up here. Let me close this up, and let's switch the picture to picture. Now, this is the computer. So let's kind of like lay out the scenario right here. So let's say PC02, which is the one that I'm on right now. It is domain joined. This is the conference room. Let's say we had multiple people logging in. We're telling them, do not log into your personal account, whatever. But people don't want to listen. End users never want to listen, and they're logging into the computer with their personal account, right? So within this scenario, we have, let me zoom in for you guys. Boom, we have Barry Allen, we have Bruce Wayne, we have Dick Grayson, and we have the Joker all logged into this machine, and we told them not to log into this machine. Please log into BTNHD because that account is already cashed in. So imagine that this conference room has 50. 50 plus, 60, 100 plus profiles, and the hard drive is already on red. And you know, with machines nowadays, when the hard drive is on red and it's really low in space, what's going to happen is that the hard drive and the performance is, you know, it's going to drop. It's going to stuck. It's going to lag, and you need to free up space. Yes, you are able to purchase another external hard drive, but if you purchase another external hard drive, you got a couple of options. You could get a program to mirror the operating system with all the programs, because most likely that conference room computer has these special programs that you need to migrate them over. And you could do a copy to another partition, yeah, or you could deploy the operating system again, push out all the Windows updates, install all the operating systems, make sure that you have all the license keys for the special programs, and you need to install everything, you know. So you have two options. Or you could do it clean up, clean it up. So I'm gonna show you guys how to clean everything up. I want to clean up the C drive, and I want to eliminate all these guys because I told these guys not to log into this machine. So we're gonna do some PowerShell. Again, you are able to make modifications to this script to do it remotely, but I'm gonna show you guys how I did it locally. You are able to configure it on another workstation and then bring it over to the, you know, to the source, and then just schedule it and then run it that route. But I'm going to do everything on the local machine. So I'm going to click on start, and within start, I'm going to type in ISC. I'm going to run it as an administrator. I'm going to right click on it, run it as an administrator. So let's open that up. Let's click yes here and let that load up. Once it load up and we're good, hopefully you guys are able to see. So let me zoom in. And if you have been tuning in with my PowerShell stuff that I've been doing a lot during the server room, I love declaring stuff, and a lot of you are like, why are you declaring variables? You could just add the information into the command. Yeah, but I like to add variables because then I'm able to just go in and just change the variable to whatever I need. So the first variable that I'm going to declare will be computer name. So let's declare computer name and equals to open and close quotations. Computer name is going to be the computer that we want to clean up. For this example, inside of double quotations, I'm going to do PC02, which is basically the machine that I am using. But imagine that I am not doing it on the machine. I'm doing it on a remote machine. You know, your workstation, your 9-to-5 workstation that you basically troubleshoot and do everything. So you're creating this on your personal workstation at the work, and you're assigning it to the computer name that you're going to move this PowerShell script into. So PC02 is the guy that I want to start cleaning up, and I'm going to declare another variable, and the variable is going to be profile path. Again, it doesn't have to be these particular variables. Let's do an open and close quotation, and you could do whatever you want. You say computer or path. It's up to you. This is how I'm building it. Within the open and close quotations, we're actually going to give it C colon / users, because that is the path where all the profiles are located. See, users and whatever. I'm going to enter. On the fourth line, we're going to declare another variable. Now, this variable is what I want to exclude. What profiles I do not want to delete. You definitely don't want to delete the public. You definitely don't want to delete the default. And if you have a particular user account that's already cached in that you're telling your end users to log into, you don't want that one to get deleted, right? So let's declare another variable, and we're going to call it profiles, right? To exclude altogether, exclude equals, and we're going to do at. And the reason why we're doing at, because I think we're creating an array, right? And we're going to do open and close parentheses, open and close brackets, not parentheses. And inside the brackets, we're going to declare the user accounts. So one of the user accounts that I do not want to delete would be Bernardo.Arocho, because that is my admin account that I log into my environment. I'm going to hit comma. We're going to do another open and close quotation. And inside there, we're going to do BTNHD. I'm going to do another comma. BTNHD for this scenario would be the account that I'm telling everyone in the office to log into, because it's already cached in. and it's less time. And especially like, have you ever had one of those end users that come back saying, "Oh, the computer was running slow, me logging into the computer, and I had I have vendors or clients waiting for me logging in." I'm like, dude, we told you to log into this account because it's already cashed in. If you never logged into the machine before, this is your first time logging in. It is going to take some time, especially if you have a bunch of group policies that are redirecting the person's profile, like downloads, the desktop, documents. If you're using GPOs that are redirecting that, and on top of that, you're pushing out particular settings for like URLs, bookmarks, and stuff like that. If you're logging into the machine the first time, it is going to take some time. We do tell people, if you want to use your profile, if you want to log into the conference room using your account, go into the conference room maybe 20 minutes before your meeting and log in and make sure everything is working. If your meeting starts at 9 o'clock, do not go into the conference room and log in at 9 o'clock and thinking that everything's going to work super fast. That doesn't make any sense. It makes you look bad and it makes us look bad, because it's like we tell you not to do it and you're going to do it. Whatever. Right? So BTNHD in this scenario is the account that is already cashed in. There's a couple of other accounts that we do not want to delete, so we're going to do another open and close quotation, and that's definitely the default. We do not want to delete that one. And we're going to hit another comma, and we're going to do open and close quotation, and we do not want to delete the public. So there's certain profiles that you do not want to delete because they would cause a lot of problems. Default and public is definitely one, and if you have other accounts that you do not want to clean up, just add them into this variable to exclude them. All right, so now we have our array, and this variable is the one that's declaring all the profiles that are not going to be touched when we start the deletion. So let's hit enter, right? And on line 6, now we're going to declare another variable, and within this variable, we're going to use a WMI commandlet to retrieve the user's profiles on the computer. Okay, so let's declare a variable, and this variable, we're going to call it all profiles. Again, you don't really need to use these variable names. You could change it. It's up to you. Equals to, and the WMI commandlet that I am going to use would be get WMI object. You could auto tab that to auto complete it. Gotta love that auto complete. And the parameter that we're going to do is win32 underscore user profile. They actually have a parameter that basically targets the user profile, so that's awesome. And we're going to do a, let's see, move over a little bit. We're going to do a parameter of computer name. Can't type computer name. And the computer name, the parameter has to have something. So what do you think we're going to be using? Yes, the variable that we declared in line 1, which would be $ computer name. Awesome. Now, with this command, it's going to be a long one, so we're going to use a pipe, which should be that line. That's why I pipe. And we are going to do a where object. So where object autocomplete, and we're going to do a wiggly wiggly. And inside the wiggly wiggly brackets, we're going to do $ underscore period, and we're actually going to do a special equals to false. Yes. Yeah. Let me zoom out real quick. Awesome. And just do special. Okay. Wiggly wiggly. All right. So if we can actually run this right now if we want. We could do the computer name. I'm going to put the cursor at the end of number 1, and we're going to basically run it. All right. So right now, computer name has, the variable computer name has PC02. We're going to run number 2. I don't have to do one by one. I can actually just highlight everything and just run it in one shot, and you're done. We're actually going to run number 4, and I am able to run, or actually, it is, yes, $ false. $false. That's the reason why I got the wiggly, because PowerShell is telling me, hey, I don't identify. It's not a command, so it's $false, and I'm able to just run this. Boom. Now, if we just run the variable all profiles by itself, I don't know if you guys saw that because it went pretty fast. So I'm gonna zoom in real quick. We just ran number 4, and the variable is all profiles. So it's actually going to give you all the profiles. So you see Bruce Wayne, we see Dick Grayson. It gave us all the profiles, right? So the script right now is working the way that we want it, which is excellent. Now it's time for us to actually start the process of deleting stuff. And we're actually going to use a for each loop to go through each of the profiles and say, okay, this profile is not part of profiles to exclude. Go to the next one. It's okay. This one is not part of it. Delete it. Okay, this one is part of it. All right, so skip. So I'm gonna zoom in real quick so you guys could take a better look. And for line 8, let's declare for each. Now don't worry about it. I am going to provide this script the way that I have it with comments and stuff at my GitHub, so you guys could grab a copy and modify it the way that you want it. So we declare for each, and within for each, let's open and close a parentheses, and within open and close parentheses, let's declare variable as a placeholder. So the placeholder is going to be profile, and you're able to do whatever you want, and we're going to do in. So the profile, variable profile, is going to be a placeholder for all profiles. So everything inside all profiles is going to jump into profiles. Okay. So let's call out all profiles. Boom. Okay. Like I said before, it's going to take everything that's in here, in this number 6, and it's going to bring it over to the placeholder of $profile. We are going to do open wiggly brackets. A lot of people like to do it here or hit enter and put it on 9 and hit tab. It really depends on how you like to code. So I'm going to put the wiggly brackets at the end, and I'm going to hit enter, and I'm just going to hit a tab. Now from here, let's declare a variable of username. Now, because the path has a backslash, we have to remove that backslash from the profiles. All right, because we don't want C:\\, we just want the user's profile. So to do that, we just only want the user's name. To do that, we need to actually call out profiles. Again, we're not calling all profiles because all profiles is just a container with all the profiles, and $profile is the placeholder, which is grabbing what's inside all profiles, and it's just looping it into the end. Hopefully I'm explaining that right. In my brain, it sounds right. So we're actually going to call profiles, and we're going to do a period. And within here, there's like sub commandlets that you're able to use, and one of them is called local. Hopefully I can spell it right. Local. Hopefully I spell it right. But no, local path. My spelling is way off today. Local path period, and we're actually going to use split, and we're going to do open and close parentheses, and inside the open and close parentheses we're going to do single quotes. Inside the single quotes we're going to do the backslash, and an option for the split is open and close brackets, and inside here we're going to do a -1. Okay, I actually had to Google this local path.split because I was having troubles in the beginning of how to actually eliminate the C:\\. It was giving me a lot of problems. So I actually had to Google this and go into communities, and someone actually helped me out in this part here. So let's hit enter a couple of times. Inside the for each, we need to do an if and else. It depends on how you do it, but for me, I did an if and else. So now within this for each, we need to bring in whether or not the username is part of the exclude. Okay. If it's part of the exclude, skip it, delete. If it is, remove it. If it's not, whatever, right? Get it. So we're gonna do if $profile. I'm gonna use my tooltips because it's there. Okay. If profiles to exclude, we're gonna do a parameter of not contains. Gotta use those autocompletes, man. Not contains $username. And the reason why $username, because again, username is grabbing what's inside profile. So if it grabs Bruce.Wayne, which is the user profile, if it's not part, if it doesn't contain, if Bruce Wayne is not part of the exclude variable, delete it. If it's not inside the exclude, delete it. If it is, skip it. Bingo, right? So let's close this if, and we're going to do another wiggly, and we're going to hit tab, and let's get fancy with it. I mean, we don't really need to do this fancy stuff, but it's up to you. I'm going to do a right host, auto tab that, and we're going to do double quotes, and inside here, deleting profile. Man, you don't really need to do this, especially if it's running on a schedule. But for the hell of it, for this video, let's get a little fancy. We're deleting what? We're going to be deleting the username. So I want it to be called, I want to see deleting profile for Bruce.Wayne or, you know, Dick Grayson and whatever. So this is just writing content, right? This, what we've been doing right now is just grabbing stuff. We haven't been removing anything. Now we are going to tell the PowerShell script to remove stuff. So we are going to be using the remove item. If I spell it right, remove item command. And we're going to use the parameter of path and give it the path. So we're actually going to do open and close quotations. And within open and close quotations, we're going to actually call out our profile path \$ user name, right? Our profile path is what? C dot, no, not dot, C colon \/ and the username is whatever, like Bruce. Well, profile path is C colon \ users. And then the username would be Bruce.Wayne or whatever, right? Now that we have our path, there's other parameters that you can use within remove item. So we're actually going to do a force. We want to actually force it. Okay, in case something gets stuck. And we want to do one more of recursive. I think that's how I say it. Boom. We're going to hit enter. And within the enter, we're going to close the wiggly brackets. This wiggly bracket is closing the if. Now, because we have an if, we need an else. So I'm going to hit enter here. I'm going to do a tab and else. And if we can't remove it, you know, if we can't remove the profile, what that means, we're excluding it, we're bypassing it or skipping it. So let's open a wiggly black bracket within the else statement. Let's hit a tab, and we're going to just do a right host, because the right host, do autocomplete, open and close. Right host is going to say, hey, we're excluding this one. That's the reason why, you know, we're not deleting it. So excluding profile for $username from deletion. Boom. Yeah, you can actually get really fancy with it. I think. Wait, before I get even fancier, let me zoom out of here real quick. Yeah. So once that's done, let's hit enter. Let's close the wiggly brackets for the else. Let's hit enter again. I'm gonna do backspace a couple more times, and now we need to close the for each. Boom. So everything is closed up. I mean, you can really get fancy with it. I think with the right host, you could do background color. I mean, the background color would be cool. I think background colors do a background color of red. Ooh, that's fancy. See, we're just getting fancy right now. And if you want to do the same thing for this one right here, background color, let's make this green. That's it. That's the script right there, right? Everything looks good. All right, so we can save it, we can run it, we're gonna run it, definitely gonna run it, but let's go back inside the C drive. And again, this script is only for a local machine. You are able to modify it and run it remotely, but for what I did, I actually placed it on the conference room machine and I just scheduled it to run every Sunday morning, and it just cleans everything up. By Monday morning, it's cleaned out. So this, we see it right here. This is everything, right? The only ones we should see is this one, this one, this one, and this one. Barry, Bruce, Dick, and the Joker should be deleted from everything. So let's minimize this. Let's go inside our PowerShell. And if you want, let me zoom out because it looks a little better that way. I'm going to do a Control A to select everything, and let's clean downstairs a bit and let's just run it. That's it. Run it. Let me zoom in real quick. That looks nice. That's pretty. Excluding, I spelled profile wrong, which is okay. Excluding profile for BTNHD. Yeah, because I actually spelled it wrong. P file. But deleting profile for Barry, deleting profile for the Joker, deleting profile for Dick, excluding the profile. I mean, you can make the changes. Go in here and make the changes. All right, boom, 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 boom. So that's done. Complete. Awesome. So the script is done. It deleted everything. So if we go back here, let's refresh. Bingo. That's it. Everyone is gone. How awesome is that? That's it. That is how you clean the profile. Now, these user accounts were really small, but it will take some time depending on the size of each profile locally on the machine. These accounts didn't really have much, but it was pretty fast because, again, they're fresh accounts. I didn't really open Outlook and, configure their inboxes and stuff like that. But the script works really well if you definitely want to clean up stuff on a particular machine. And that's it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. It's pretty short, pretty simple. I will provide the PowerShell script and I'll upload it into my GitHub so you guys get a copy of it. I will add some comments on what's what so you guys could actually go in there and look at it. And again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Before I head out, let me check. Make sure everything is good. And that's it. Again, I'll catch you guys next weekend, episode 67. Holy moly, 67 episodes. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. All right. How you end this? I always forget how to end this. Is it over?